Well, good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, and looks like we are live on YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, and TikTok. Looking forward to another great live today. Let's see here. I think we've got to refresh this. There we go. All right. Looks like it's working now. So, how is everybody today? What's the latest out there in electronic land? If you are, or whatever platform you're on, send me a message in the chat. Let me know where you're located so I can say good morning. Hey, Share Baby 29, one of our subscribers is here. Good morning, Share Baby. Scratch 65, one of our subscribers is here. Good morning, Scratch. Full Mental Jacket is here. Welcome. Let's see, we've got Dave coming on here. Hold on one second. There we go. All righty. I think we've got people coming on.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Dave.
How are we doing?
Well, doing pretty darn well. How about yourself?
Good night.
What's that?
Did you have a good night's sleep?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? I sleep pretty well. I'm fortunate when it comes to that. So we have
Nowadays,
Chris.
especially.
What's that?
Nowadays, especially, I sleep really good.
Yeah, exactly. So Christy B, one of our subscribers, is here from Hayesville, Kansas. Good morning, Christy B. Donna White, one of our subscribers, is here. Good morning, Donna. Hope all is well. So if you are on TikTok, double tap that screen and share this live out if you would. If you'd like to contribute to our daily goal, today we have Tiny Dinies today. That would be wonderful. And yes, we do have subscriptions now on TikTok. So if you'd like to subscribe, then we would welcome you into our inner circle. That would be great. So tell me, Dave, what have you noticed? Anything this morning? I mean, we're all in anticipation of the JFK files.
I've been busy searching and searching and searching, waiting. Haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, last time I heard, it's supposed to be this afternoon.
Right. Well, and then, Trump's speaking with Putin today, so I imagine that's going to take precedence, I imagine, at first,
Right, exactly.
So we'll see.
Well, apparently there was a little video that was released, Putin in Russia talking about one of his, or the phone call that's coming up, and that he better get off of his news conference because he's got to talk to President Trump. And he kind of chuckled and said, yeah, you're right. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So we have, Christy B just sent a bunch of tiny dinies. Thank you, Christy. Let's see. So let's see. We got Alex here. Hold on. Let's bring Alex on. All righty. There we go. Well, good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
I didn't think you were going to be in your chair this morning.
Well, things change.
Good. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. So what have you noticed? Anything major current events we need to deal before we get into the dispatch?
$3,050 for an ounce of gold.
Wow.
All-time high.
Wow.
All-time high.
What percentage increase is that over yesterday?
I'm on the week chart right now. 24 hours, 1%. 3 days, 1.3%. 1 week, 3%. 1 month, 3.4%. 3 months, 15%. 1 year, 45% increase.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
1 year ago, it was $2,000 an ounce, folks.
Wow. So we have Scratch65 said, one of our subscribers said, JFK files are 80,000 pages. That's a lot to read. Yeah, it is. Oh, we got James here too. Hold on one second, everybody. Let me see if I can get James on. Oh, that was Dave. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Welcome back, Dave.
Hell,
All right, there we go. Okay, I think I got it now. All right, the gang's all here.
Oh, we got a camera on James.
Oh my goodness, James. What's the occasion?
You caught me on the run. I'm in the pickup.
Oh, there you go. Good morning. I'm glad you could make it. So, Donna Parker, one of our subscribers, is here. Virgo 47 is here. Free the Birds. Are you Lebanese? Yes, I am Lebanese. Free the Birds. Good call. So, James, what have you heard this morning? Anything earth-shaking that we need to be aware of before we dive into the recap of the dispatch?
It's kind of interesting about the drone attack on the USS Truman Carrier Group. That was kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting when you think about all the things going on. Dan Bongino, 80 companies buying up Bitcoin, the JFK files being released today. Coal plants, how much coal is being produced and where we're going back to on that. There's just so many things in the works. Dave touched on it yesterday about there's so many things going on. It's hard to focus on any one unless you put your finger on it and you study it.
You know, and it's funny, you guys, we just said yesterday we were talking about coal plants. And then within a couple of hours, President Trump came out and made a statement specifically about coal clean plants here in America. You think he might be watching our podcast?
I don't know.
He is.
I don't know why he wouldn't be.
Quite frankly, it's the greatest podcast in all of TikTok. These gentlemen to get together and have a conversation about me, number 47.
Exactly.
But one little smidgen of detail about the JFK files. He said without redactions.
Yeah. But if it is 80,000 pages, it's, you know, that used to take months to go through. With everybody on this now, it's going to take a couple of hours before we start seeing.
Well, feed it into AI and ask for keywords and synopsis, and it'll spit it out for you like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I don't know. An IT guy told me.
Well, and I think it's interesting that, you know, we bring up this energy, the coal plants. Yesterday, President Trump comes out and basically reiterated what we specifically said, that why are we held to a separate account when China doesn't have those same restrictions, and when you have the jet stream that's carrying it all over the world anyway, it doesn't make sense. Hey, we've got Did Joe Mom tonight. Oh, he said amazing work. Boy, did I fall for that one. But he did say amazing work, boys. Keep it up. So thank you over on YouTube. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. See what happens, you guys, when you get to be my age?
I don't care who you are. That's funny.
So what about this Navy destroyer that was sent out to bolster the events of the Panama Canal reclaim? What do you guys make of that?
I mean, a cornered animal is going to bite. We'll see what happens.
Try to create some waves, see how it shakes out here.
Right. James, what do you think?
Well, anytime the military shows a show of force, I think it can be intimidating.
Right.
And I think that's probably what their intent is just to be intimidating.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. So, and I got to think that there is a link between the Panama Canal and Greenland and Canada and possibly Mexico. I don't know. I don't pretend to know how it's going to play out, but it's not by chance that those four subjects have come up over and over and over again. What do you guys think?
I think that there's a strategic reason for mentioning something. Does that mean that it will come to fruition full circle? Is it to flush out? I mean, is he peeling back the covers to see if the roaches scatter? Like, you just don't know.
Right.
You just don't know.
Right. I would agree.
Be optimistic.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, there's a lot of information out there in terms of Canada not being part of the crown anymore, real property being seized in Canada. So how it's going to play out in the long run, I have no idea, but suffice it to say that there is something afoot, I would think. So let me do a little house cleaning here, guys. We have Tanya Mundheiser is here. Hello, Tanya. Dana Mackey is here. Good morning, Dana. Dave Toothera is here. Good morning. Virgo 47 is here. Good morning. Donna Parker, one of our subscribers, is here. Hey, Hits is here. Good morning, Hits. Excuse me. We have Patty Pashy, 777 is here. 80 Deuce Cav is here. Welcome, 80. Or Deuce, I should say. Daddy D is here. Good morning, Daddy D. Share Baby 29 in the chat again. Daddy D said, I want to know why the Epstein list is still hush-hush. Well, my personal perspective on it is that if you have grand juries that are in session concerning any or all of the people that are concerned in those lists, they cannot volunteer any information at this point because it would jeopardize those investigations. At least that's my perspective at this point. What do you guys think?
Well, if you release the JFK files unredacted, you start to gain a little bit of trust with the people, patriots included, right?
Yeah.
So that when you slow roll the rest of the information that's going to shock the world, it's a little easier to digest.
Right. James, thoughts?
Well, I think one of the primary reasons, based on the study that I've had of the JFK files, I think they've been trying to mask that for so long because, in my opinion, it was potentially an inside job and the driver did it. And by the time that they expose that, and it really comes to light that he in fact did do that, I think it's going to undermine the CIA, and they're going to lose too much confidence in that branch of the world.
Well, I think, you know, there's the theory of the driver. There's also the theory of there was somebody in the sewer line, and that would account for the upward trajectory of the bullet in the back of the head blowing off. You know, I don't know. I mean, could there have been 5, 6, 7 shooters? I don't know. But I think if nothing else, it certainly was not some guy in a book depository with a bolt action rifle with a tree in his line of sight. I mean, that's just utterly ridiculous. And it's utterly ridiculous, much like 9/11, where you have 2 planes that bring down 2 skyscrapers because of the pancake theory, and jet fuel burns hot, and therefore it melted 49 steel girders. It's ridiculous. Jet fuel burns at the same temperature as kerosene.
Opinions only. TikTok, you can buy it in the TikTok shop.
Exactly.
So I think when we look at this D-class and this release, we're laying a foundation, right? We're laying a foundation that I think opens the doors for people like normies or whatever you want to call them to really start to get a big picture that, you know, when the declassification of, you know, psyops and overthrows of governments and the playbooks and all of the things that have transpired since JFK, right? It really lays a foundation for us to build that road to transparency, like we keep talking about.
Right.
I mean, if you find out if one of our 3-letter agencies did that, they're like, wait, there's got to be more to it. They're like, that's insane.
Right. And what else have they done?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Endless can of worms.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think we're quickly approaching that precipice of disclosure. And when it hits, you know, it's been said that it's going to be a drip and then it's going to be a flood. And maybe we're approaching that flooding stage now. I don't know.
That little boy doesn't have enough fingers for the dike anymore. It's about to burst.
Exactly. Good morning to Jason Coons over on Facebook. Good morning, Jason. Franny Dragonfly is here. Good morning, Franny. And of course, Susie Kabloozy is here. Good morning, Susie. Zipto Kraken said, I'm going to be careful on these usernames before I blurt them out. But Zipto Kraken said, Sam's right, dude. Yeah, exactly. Sam's right. Dude was in the sewer. Yeah, and I've seen those reports, and it's quite possible. I don't know for sure, but nothing would surprise me at this point. So everybody on TikTok, if you would double tap that screen, share this live out. Let's get a bunch of people piled in here. Excuse me. If you'd like to contribute to our daily tiny daily goal, that would be wonderful. And of course, we do have subscriptions available on TikTok. And if you're on X, YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook, please give us the thumbs up or the positive affirmation button on the platform you're on. So
one more point of note for all the viewers, we need to have a share-a-thon and get Sam more followers, because at 250,000 followers, our friend Sam Shalhoub will get his first American flag, first ever tattoo.
Well, you know, it's funny. You say, hey, Deuce, thanks for the reminder on the flag. I got it handled, I think. You know, it's funny. We said that yesterday. One of my followers on X reposted our video from yesterday, specifically telling people to go out and follow me so that I reach 250,000 followers on TikTok, because I'm going to get a tattoo if that happens. So I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it just cracked me up.
Has it made a difference overnight?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we have a steady stream of new followers every day, but, you know, nothing significant. I mean, we're talking about, you know, 150,000 more followers or more. So I'm not holding my breath. And if I was, you'd have to call and ask for Mr. Blue.
What's that right there, Sam?
Exactly. It's called V for Vendetta, my brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh,
Man.
I've had that for years. And I just, you know, like, I'm trying these different sets, and I've got actually my nephew, who is in the movie industry, is coming here, and he's going to help me with lighting, and we're going to have a whole new looking set here pretty soon. But, you know, I'm just kind of playing with different things, but I'm glad you caught that, Alex. So we have Minor sent some roses. B Golden sent some tiny dinies. Virgo 47 sent some tiny dinies. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the Democrat petition against Schumer. 22,000 people signing it. Oh my gosh. What do you guys think, Dave?
It's amazing how things are changing, and not surprising in the same breath.
And at light speed as well. James?
Couldn't be happier. When I heard that for the first time, it put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
You can't have the smallest and the weakest leading the pack at all.
Right. Exactly. Alex?
About damn time.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? How about the 51 intelligence agencies that verified that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation? Wait till those crappy people get exposed. I can't wait to see that.
Well, all of them have had their security clearance yanked.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, you know what, Alice? I wanted to, where are we at on oil prices today? What is crude at? Will you take a look at that?
Yep.
Because
I'll tell you right now.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin was talking about the Obama and Biden environmental regulations and how you don't have to sacrifice cost of living to save the environment. And now we're seeing all of these, not only the oil dropping, but the eggs. It just came down. I looked at it this morning. Within 2 months, it's come down from $9 a dozen to $3.45 a dozen. And yet you
67.45 a barrel.
So how much is that down in the last couple of days?
So if we do 1 month, it looks like it was $72 a barrel. Has been as low as 66 on March 10th. So, I mean, negligible percentages, but I think we're going to continue to watch this. It takes time, right? We got to get the production up to the capacity that's coming out of the ground and new facilities online and turn things back on that, got shut off 4 years ago.
Right, exactly. And then you also have the issue with refineries. Refineries have to be up to speed. They have to be retooled or reinstituted, whatever the proper term is. But as we see oil prices come down, we are going to see productivity go up. We're going to see production go up, manufacturing go up. And when energy prices come down in general, the economy will be bolstered. At least that's my opinion. James, what do you think?
Well, I think a lot of it goes, you're exactly right, but I think a lot of it goes to these three-letter agencies, mainly the EPA, where they restricted the use of coal in power plants across the nation. And, that for, I guess, allowing coal to go back up and down the railroad tracks and saying, hey, let's go coal. China's not the only one that's doing coal. And we have an ample supply of that to give power. And I think that's going to be a huge factor in the next 6 months. We're going to see a lot of things come down in prices. When we sustain our own energy and use our own resources for it, obviously it's going to have to drive prices down and probably put a lot of people back to work.
Right.
Well, in perspective, back in April of 2020, it was $12 a barrel.
It was when?
April of 2020, $12 a barrel.
Oh, right. Didn't it even go negative at some point?
Negative 37.63.
Wow.
That's when tankers were sitting in the ocean begging to unload their crude. But that was a different circumstance. But I mean, if we look at the general gist of things, there's almost a doubling of prices. When you get into 2022, it was $120 a barrel. So since, let's see, March of 2024, we were sitting at about $80 a barrel. So in a year's time, we've come down $20 a barrel.
Wow, that's significant. Hey, Choose Your Poison is here. Hey, Choose Your Poison. Tina is here. Welcome, Tina. Excuse me. Dana Mackey said, I can't wait for Schiff to go down. Well, he's well on his way. Hey, Jason Keener just sent a whole bunch of bracelets. Thank you, Jason. It's appreciated. So let's talk a little bit about Senator Jim Banks coming out yesterday and saying that Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, and the January 6th committee members accepting the pardons essentially proves they're guilty. I mean, how do we see that playing out? How do you see that, at least in the court system, moving into a place where we can actually bring some resolution and some justice to this? Alex?
Well, resolution and justice comes through transparency. And the more that we continue to push for accountability and truth and transparency, I think we're going to watch more dominoes fall.
Right. James?
Interesting timing on that, right?
Right.
And by accepting it, does that mean they're guilty in the same sense? Like, why would you accept something if you're like, why would I need that?
Exactly.
It's kind of like Trump. They said Trump can pardon himself before his last administration. He goes, no need to do that because I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty.
Right. James, how do you see it playing out?
It's interesting. The magic pen that did the job, did the pardons, that's up for the fight right now. Whether or not Joe Biden was of right sound mind when those pardons were issued.
Right.
The power of the magic pen, and he didn't officially do it. And according to the rule book, he is supposed to be the man that's supposed to sign it, not a machine.
Well, not just of right mind, but was he even in the country?
Well, that's up for speculation too. I mean, he might have been in the West Wing of some hospital in Indonesia, for all we know.
Yeah, did you guys see at the White House? I think it was the White House. President Trump. There's a picture of President Trump as 45th president. There's a picture of President Trump as the 47th president, and then in the middle is a picture of the auto pen as the 46th president. I was classic. Talk about trolling. Well, I think there's a lot of truth to that. And if we can prove fraud with the auto pen, what happens when 2020 is exposed? We discussed this yesterday. We're talking about a constitutional crisis. What takes place? What happens with President Trump in terms of the 4 years that he optically was not in office? I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, how do you guys see, what do you think some of the possibilities are in terms of that playing out over the long term?
The 4 years that aren't talked about could have been completely martial law, even though we didn't know it was ever declared.
Right. Well,
and I think again, that's all part of this highway being paved, right? We got to get the foundation down. We've got to show the truth behind the amount of chicanery going on in the background, who was responsible, how long it's been going on, so that as we build upon that and we get closer to today's times, we see that the possibility's always been there, but now we've built a case where the probability is through the frickin' roof that this evidence is being presented as transparently as possible is irrefutable, right? And so again, there's always going to be that percentage that you can tell them the sky is blue, and they're going to argue with you till you know the cows come home. But I really think transparency, that word really sums it all up to get us to the next step.
right. And did you see Ilhan Omar today came out and was deriding President Trump for sending these immigrants home while she married her brother to stay in the country? Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. It's mind-blowing. Hey, Robert.
Ilhan Omar did the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. What did I call her? I don't know. Maybe
Elon.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Elon married a car.
No, exactly. Hey, Robert McCarsky is here over on YouTube. Welcome, Robert. Hey, Sarge is here. Good morning, Sarge, one of our subscribers. Valerie James is here. Good morning, Valerie. We have Robin Keel is here. Good morning, Robin. So, yeah, I as we move forward with this, as we continue in this exposure phase, I think we're starting to see more and more of the justice phase being rolled out. And I am so excited. It just cracks me up. The people on the left flipping out. And as you guys know, I'm in the belly of the beast here in LA, California. And I have lots of friends in the entertainment industry. They're dyed-in-the-wool blue. But there's nothing that they can say. There's really nothing. What can they say? Oh, well, we're exposing government fraud. That's good. Gas prices are coming down. Good. Egg prices are coming down. Good. Exposure is taking place with JFK. They have nowhere to go. And
but the sky's not blue.
Exactly. So, but again, I just found it very interesting that this is all happening so quickly. Hey, Lisa Maria is here, one of our subscribers, and JD Deuce Jeff.
And they're always going to have that fight. It's just how their tone starts going further and further and further down, you know?
Very true, because they don't have anywhere to go with it. Janet sent a bunch of tiny dinies. Robin Keel sent a bunch of tiny dinies. Lisa Maria sent a heart me. Janet just sent a rose. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, well, I think it's, what's that?
Lori asked a question. What's your take on the judge against the flight of immigrants out of the country? I would simply ask that anybody that has an opinion on either side of whether that judge is right or wrong, go look at the NGOs affected by USAID and what spouses are embroiled in the USAID money laundering scheme. And then it starts to make sense.
Right. Well, and that's been the argument that I've had for years. Foreign aid is, number one, unconstitutional as far as I'm concerned. Number two, why should we be spending a dime on another country if it wasn't for the globalists and their New World Order agenda? we would have never been doing that. And President Trump, it was the monkey wrench in the works in 2016, and they know it. So the globalists, the 1%ers, they're screwed. They have nowhere to go. President Trump is dismantling them. I believe President Trump is working with Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, all of the major leaders around the world to expose this really global conspiracy to control the world. At least that's my perspective at this point. What do you guys think?
Well, Trump had a call with Putin for 2 hours. What could they be talking about for 2 hours?
Right, right. And then let's not forget when President Trump in 2016 or 17 went to the United Kingdom, walked in front of the Queen at her behest, went to Saudi Arabia, did the sword dance, which no other president's ever done, went to China, went to the Forbidden City, which no other president's done, went to North Korea, walked across the DMZ, which no other president's done. That is indicative of all of those other countries either capitulating or deciding to work with President Trump, the U.S., and the military, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I 100% agree.
Lots of signs. Lots of signs.
Right, exactly. And as I said, as we're moving forward, so much more of this is going to be exposed.
There was 3 things that district judge orally commanded or asked for. He wanted to know the flights that took off after the order. He wants to know the flights that landed after the order, and he wants to know the individuals that were either in the air or transferred after the oral order. And the United States, the DOJ went back to him and said, "We're not giving you anything. We're not giving you any of the people. We're not going to tell you who it was, and we're not going to justify it to you." The problem is it was an oral command from a district judge, not a federal judge, and it wouldn't really matter. It has to be in writing. And the other problem is, and I understand where the president was coming from on this, he said, get them out of here. 1, they're dangerous, but 2, El Salvador was being paid by the United States $6 million for an undetermined number of people in the United States. And that's not a healthy thing. And why should we be paying to harbor criminals in our country, especially if they're aliens?
Exactly. And I don't care what anybody says. There is no precedent that has been set, no constitutional right of way for a federal, a state, a district judge to overrule the executive branch, especially when you look at the Article 2 of the Constitution. Basically, if it is a national security issue, the president has full control. And I don't see how these judges, and maybe all this is just President Trump exposing the corruption in the judges. What do you go ahead, Dave?
Trump called for an impeachment of him, so
Good.
we'll see how that shakes out.
Right, exactly.
Well, he's operating under the Alien Enemies Act. And, that's something that's been in place for a long time. No judge can just say, hey, that doesn't apply here.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Did you guys see Tom Holman got questioned about that? Like, why are you using such an old law? He goes, well, the Constitution's old, and we still use that.
Right, exactly. That was
And then he walked off.
that was classic. I love that. I know. So we have B Golden just sent a whole bunch of gifts. Thank you, B Golden. It's appreciated. Excuse me. DNB06 said, seriously, waste more of our money. Exactly. They're just wasting it. They're peeing in the wind, for lack of a better term. And now that the exposure's happening, exactly. Lisa Maria, one of our subscribers, said, Tom Homan is a badass. Yes, he is, Lisa. I absolutely agree. So what do you guys make of, so the Secretary of the HUD, Scott Turner, and the DOI Secretary Doug Burgum announced a plan to turn underused federal land into housing. Now, one of the things I want to bring to people's attention is most people don't realize that a lot of our national parks were actually essentially given to other countries as a form of loan security. Now, this has been happening for decades. So I'm wondering if we are in continuity of government, if we are in devolution, do all of those prior agreements that have been made, Are they null and void?
Interesting.
That is interesting. And they shut how many down in the last 2 weeks? Wasn't it like 15 national parks have been shut down? Maybe they're claiming possession.
It could very well be.
Constitutionally, the United States government is not supposed to own any land. And we have the Bureau of Land Management, who has bought up more acres than any other farmer in the entire country. Like, there's got to be a shakeup. We've got to look at, yes, we need more housing. We need more affordable housing. As there's more houses on the market, that brings the price of houses down. And what about our homeless vets? Like, let's start keeping that money inside of our own four walls and helping the people that, you know, have given the ultimate sacrifice, the families of those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, which I know is just a fraction of the problem. But, you know, we're spending all this money in other places to help other people when we have people here at home that are struggling. And, you know, there's talk of lowering taxes or removing taxes completely for households less than $150,000. Vivek Ramaswamy is running in Ohio on the premise that he's going to eliminate the income tax, state income tax. I think it's all headed in the right direction, folks.
Right. Well, and I think that's, you know, Ron DeSantis is doing the same thing. And I see those two as a precursor to what's coming for America as a whole, all 50 states. No more income tax, no more property tax, essentially reversing the communism that has taken hold here in America in one fell swoop. Hey, everybody on TikTok, if you would, double tap that screen, share this live out. If you can contribute to our daily Tiny Diny goal, that would be wonderful. And of course, we do have subscriptions available on TikTok. If you're open to becoming part of our inner circle, we would love to have you.
Here's a few things that have been added to the FBI Vault release here in the last couple of days. Henry Kissinger. They've got DB Cooper Part 104. A few other things. So that's interesting to see if anybody wants to watch on what's coming out for the FBI. They posted on FBI Vault and go to recents.
What's the actual URL, Dave?
Vault.fbi.gov.
Got it.
And then you click on recently added on the right hand side.
Got it. Okay. Hey, Sarge is here. Good morning, Sarge. Glad you could make it. Matt Garfield, one of our subscribers, is here. Welcome, Matt. Glad you could make it. ShareBaby29 said it's no longer beneficial to argue with anyone. Human says the truth and walks away. And Holman says the truth, walks away. I love it. I agree with you, ShareBaby. I mean, that was a boss move. That was a mic drop moment. Absolutely. I 100% agree. We have Bethany just sent some donuts, or B. Bethany. Thank you, B. Bethany. And roses. B. Golden just sent a bunch of lightning bolts. B. Bethany sent some tiny dinies. Lisa Maria sent roses. Matt Garfield sent a whole bunch of tiny dinies. A.B. Deuce Jeff just sent a bunch of tiny dinies. Janet sent a heart me. Thank you, Janet. Hannah C. is here. She sent some tiny dinies. Thank you, Hannah. That's just wonderful, you guys. Thanks so much. So if they are going to convert unused or underused federal land into housing, and we combine that with the lumber that President Trump said something about, he was going to do some forest cleaning to make pathways, which would also be fire breaks. I wonder how much of that lumber could be used for these new projects that are coming up.
Well, the price of lumber is going to have to come up. If you look what happened in Mississippi and Alabama, those tornadoes that wiped out just hundreds of acres of timber, it's going to go up. And so we've been dependent on Canada for timber for a long time. And, you know, we have a lot of timber, but we don't have enough.
You don't? Do you think that them clearing those paths will increase that supply, James, or not enough?
Obviously, it's going to increase the supply, and it's going to give the safety factor that we need. You know, why burn 20,000 acres under a natural fire when it could be 5 with bricks?
Got it. DNB06 just sent some heart me's. Janet just sent some tiny dinies. Thank you, everybody. So now let's talk a little bit about our favorite person, Fannie Willis. She's been ordered to pay $54,000 in attorney's fees. Wow, did you see that? Pot of gold. Thank you. For violating the state's Open Records Act. How many other people are they going to be highlighting when it comes to inappropriate behavior? Fannie Willis, I think, is just the beginning. Just the beginning. What do you guys think?
Yeah, right. 100%. Start following the money. Transparency. We'll start to get a very clear picture very quickly. If they're squealing, they're stealing.
Yeah.
How about yesterday at 8:15 last night, an article that said Trump is ending immediately Secret Service protection of Biden's children.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how about the fact that Hunter Biden is out there in some remote, beautiful, exotic place on our dime with the Secret Service still protecting him? Kick him to the curb. Get rid of him. If he gets whacked, he gets whacked. Ain't my concern.
I thought he was out of money. I can't go on vacation if I'm out of money.
Right, exactly. Hey, we've got Captain Graybeard here. Captain, if you would like to come on, just let me know in the chat. Oh, Brian said he's in Africa. I don't care where he is. I mean, the fact that he's got so scary, he's got Secret Service details protecting him. The fact that he's claiming that he doesn't have enough money to pursue these lawsuits that he's initiated. Cut him loose is what I say. Go ahead, Dave. Looks like you want to say something.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Shauna T said SpaceX Dragon has undocked and is headed home. All right, so I'm going to come. This is going to be a little controversial, but we're going to do it anyway. I want to know if people, Alex is already saying, no, don't do it, Sam. It's coming. Just prepare yourself. All right. I have my theories.
Cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Oh, well, then I'm waiting for you to come back because this is a big one. And it's something, we're talking about, the space travel. We're talking about these different things that are happening with SpaceX and what have you. I want to know what people think. Do you think we really went to the moon and landed on the moon? Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't think we went to the moon or landed on the moon, put a 2 in the chat. 1, yes, we did. 2, we did not. I would love to hear what everybody thinks. Here we go.
I'm going to put a bunch of 1s, but I'm going to preface it with this. We were in a race, and that race was in multiple ways televised and in ways that it had not been done before in the world, right? Black and white television sets and these things. And I think that ultimately, yes, it happened. Did it happen, and was it televised live? Maybe not.
All right, so here we go. We have Wendy 21 1, Card D 11 1, Dana Mackey 2, Jen Holtz. Hey, Jen X Holtz is here 2, Mark Matson 2, Share Baby 29 with a whole bunch of 2s. Blondie's here. Hey, Blondie 2, Virgo 47 2, Brian 2, Terry 2, Lisa Maria 2, Shauna 2, Brudge 66 2, Franny Dragonfly 2, Zipto Kraken 2. I still got to watch myself here. Becky 2, Billy Bob Jones 2, Lori Camden 2, Matt Garfield, one of our subscribers, 1, Charlie number 2, Kim K 1, and Susie Kabloozy 2, Robin Keel 2. Yeah, I mean, Scratch 65 said 3. I don't know what that's supposed to be, Scratch, but I'm with you. I find it hard to believe that how can we. Here's part of the thing that I'm concerned about. They say we went to the moon. They say we landed on the moon. But now they're telling you, hey, Captain, welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. We're just having a debate on whether we actually went to the moon or not. So
I was curious to hear whether you guys actually thought that y'all went.
I don't think we did personally. But how can we all of a sudden now, 50 years later, say, oh, we lost all the technology that enabled us to get to the moon? Come on. That's like burning the evidence before anybody can read it. I mean,
but there's a rover on the moon right now.
That's what you're being told.
Firefly, have you not? Look, oh man.
when you think about calculated risks, and if you watch some of the movies that they've made, I can't remember the one that's got the it was the black lady that actually went in and helped figure out the trajectory.
Right. On the punch card machines.
Correct.
Right.
You know, there's certain things that have taken place, you know, within government and that you can read about that are actually historically sound. The risk that we took to get to the moon, they didn't want to keep doing it. How many times did we go to the moon?
3, 5. How many times?
I don't know.
Well, how many times did we publicly go to the moon?
What?
I mean, we're just now finding out that there's been a manned station in the moon or in orbit since what, 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're told and what they do are two different things. It's always going to be like that. That's why Trump's doing a great job with his little transparency thing. Is you're going to see stuff that you don't like, that you don't agree with, and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, why do we do that? I don't understand." But have you ever watched two masters of chess play chess? You know how to play the game, but you've got white on one side and black on the other. You don't know what they're thinking. All you know is you hired him to do, you voted him to do a job.
So if you want the number, it's 13. Okay, 6 times with crew members and 7 times without crew members.
And we did this all on technology that was dumber than a smartphone.
This is over the course from the 60s to today. And again, do I believe that what was televised as the first man stepping down on the moon might have been fabricated? I think so. We were.
Well, where would the camera be if there's a camera on him?
I understand what you're saying, Sam, but hear me out. We were in a space race, right, with our arch enemy, the CCCP, right? This is when the Soviet Union, it was the motherland Russia, right? Like it was a heated, you know, space race to get there, and I think that we were really close, but we had to beat them. So in Hutchinson, Kansas, you have the Aerospace Museum. And so when the CCCP fell, when Russia fell, USSR, why did I say CCCP? When the USSR fell, okay, there were Russian cosmonauts that were touring the United States with their spacecraft and their stories and their suits and their things. And when the government fell, they sold all of that to museums just to be able to get back home, right? And so you have to look at multiple sides to that story. And so realistically, do I believe that potentially they faked some things to win that space race? Yes, but do I believe that we've never been to the moon? Absolutely not. I do not believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. I have 5 telescopes out in my garage. We built a 2-story building in the backyard with a masonite dome so that we could have our own observatory in the backyard. I've been in this for a very long time as an amateur astronomer. So I think there's some truth to, yes, there's little crosshairs in some pictures, and yes, maybe that was done on a soundstage and some of those things. But why did they do that? Well, they did that because we were in a world, I mean, the entire world was watching. Is it going to be USSR? Is it going to be USSA? We got cosmonauts that are getting close. We got US that's getting close. Like we had to win that from a political standpoint and a worldview to remain the superpower of the world, right? So take that out of the equation and you start looking at real missions that have been there, rocks that have come back, the composite of those rocks. I'm done.
Well, so my only concern, I mean, I look at it this way. Maybe you're right, Alex. Maybe we did go. But I just find it interesting. Our history has been obfuscated in so many areas for so long. It wouldn't surprise me if that was one of the things that they're not telling the truth about. I could be wrong. I don't know. But there's a lot of what I would call anomalies, things that are at the very least make me question. Does that make sense?
Soviet Union has successfully put gear on the moon 8 times. China has done it 4 times. India did it once, and Japan almost did it. It was partially successful. So it's not just us. And again, I think that there is some truth to the mistruths, but that doesn't mean like you can't throw out the entire space program. Everything that you see is CGI, and there's a firmament and the Earth is flat. It just goes freaking psycho from there.
No, I understand.
Okay, can I take this one bigger tinfoil hat above?
Sure.
Captain, if you go lucky on me, I'm going to boot you right now.
What's
What
lucky?
if? I'm just saying, what if? What if it's true that we were told never to come back?
There's a possibility. I don't believe for a second that we're the only living beings in this universe. Not by any stretch.
No, but ask Captain about some of the things he's seen at sea.
Right. Well, I believe it.
What, Captain? Give us a couple examples.
I
Captain?
don't think Captain's going to speak about it, but I have a friend that
Oh,
is a
okay.
captain of a boat who one time told me that there were things moving underneath the water faster than it could move above the water.
Right, I've heard reports about that.
Facts.
What's that, Captain?
He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my fiance will smack me right in the back of the head and tell me there are no such thing as aliens all day long. But
I hope she's not in earshot right now because you might get slapped.
Absolutely standing right next to him.
That's why he's looking out of his eye, looking out of the corner of his eye. He's not gonna get
Well,
slapped.
tell her not to be shy. Tell her to say hello. Hi.
Sorry, Jen.
Hi guys, how's everybody? Listen, I don't believe that. I think it's absolute fucking bullshit. Number one, this is my personal opinion.
Don't beat around the bush, Jen. Tell us the truth.
Well, I tell you, I will tell you the truth. He is made to believe, and everybody else may be believed that there are this shit out there. This is what I believe. If they can make robot women get pregnant and birth fucking babies, why can't they friggin' make all these friggin' weird shooting things, the government, and implant them in the sky and put them in the water? That's where Elon Musk comes in, because he look at the stuff this guy's created.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
I don't believe in aliens. I believe they make this stuff.
So do
I
you believe that there's other planets?
Yeah, there's other
Okay.
planets.
Do you believe that those other planets are in a solar system?
Listen,
Yeah. Answer the question. Do you believe that our planets are in a solar system, right?
yeah, but were you ever there?
Wait. And our solar system is in a galaxy of solar systems with millions of other solar systems, right? Do you believe that? You see the Milky Way at night?
I don't see shit at night. All I see is
Well,
black.
we got to get you out in the country, girlfriend. But the mathematic impossibility that we are the only ones, when there are billions, trillions, we don't even know how many galaxies are out there with how many solar systems, with how many planets. And if geologically you look at the age of the Earth, humans are relatively a young species. So what about those planets out there that might have civilizations that have been around for millions of years, not tens of thousands of years?
Okay, but if
Your
they're
ability
out,
to
if they're
understand.
out there, if they're out there, then why are all these weird things happening here? Why can't they stay the hell on their own fucking planet if that's the case? You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I seen something. Look at the mental health going on these days. It's like, woo, it's through the roof.
Hey, I'll
Everybody's
take
on
aliens.
drugs
I'll
because
take
they think they've seen all this shit. They're
I'll
going,
take
woo.
aliens. I'll
I better
take
get off
aliens
this.
over
Sorry,
pronouns
nice
any day,
to meet you.
Jen. I'll
See you,
take
Dad.
aliens over pronouns any day.
All right. So,
Listen,
Share
They
ba-
probably are the fucking pronouns. They're probably both fucking around. They think they have dicks, and then I'm getting off you.
I think we found a new co-host. Exactly. Tell Jen that she's welcome back anytime, Captain.
Before you make that offer, ask her how many times she's been.
Her feathers are not even ruffled.
No, I know. I could tell. I could tell.
Before you invite her on as a guest, you need to find out how many times she's been banned on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is a pistol, and she is not scared at all whatsoever to speak her mind.
No, I kind of gathered that. Share Baby 29, a subscriber, said when Buzz Aldrin was asked if he went to the moon and refused to answer is when she stopped believing. So, and I think there's a lot of examples of that. I'm not saying yes or I'm not saying no. Sarge, a subscriber, said there's a whole lot of money being spent for bragging rights, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. Scratch 65 also said military has unmanned subs under the water. Yeah, I would agree, and I think that they're moving at rates that we've been told are impossible. So
Lisa Marie said aliens over liberals for $5 million.
Exactly.
You know the number one commodity that NASA purchases?
No.
Helium.
Exactly right, Dave. Helium.
And where's the
Wow.
largest source of helium in the United States?
On the moon.
The Texas Panhandle.
Okay.
Wow.
So why does NASA have to have all that helium?
Why are we having balloons flying over blaming China for that, right?
So
Yeah.
wait a minute, James. So why do you think we need all that helium?
How do you practice weightlessness?
What's that?
How do you demonstrate weightlessness?
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's part of the movie set, is what I'm trying to say, and I think you're spot on. Alex doesn't agree, but New Mexico is much like the surface of the moon. And Alex, I understand your look. I see the side eye, and that's fine. I kind of have to go along with Sam on that. The tinfoil movie sets in New Mexico, they're real.
So the reason that they use an exorbitant amount of helium is because it's an inert gas that doesn't mix with other gases, and it works well in a cryogenic application such as space where you have sub-zero temperature. It's more than just floating things. I'm just gonna.
Well, Matt Garfield said I think
science nerd.
I think Matt Garfield came up with the proper answer. He's one of our subscribers. He said because they like to talk in high voices.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Alex, I got one for you, Alex. How on July 21st, 1969, they talked to him from the moon to the president, right? Perfectly good communication back then. And today, 2025, I'm still dropping phone calls.
Yeah. All right, let's do another survey, everybody. Let's do another survey. If you think that there's other life in the universe, put a 1. If you don't think there's any other life in the universe, put a 2. 1, there is other life. 2, there is not. Let's see what we get back here. Real Alex, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Farmer Boy, 1. What's that?
Does it have to be in the universe, or can there be other life? Because I believe it may be here.
Oh, yeah, other life, 1, 2, no. So Sherry, 2. DNB 06, 1. Nan, 1. Les Girl, 2. Dana Mackey, 1. Christopher Prim, 1. Leonard Little, 2. Gator, 1. Robin Keel, 1. B Golden, 1. Dave Mears, 1.
Bigfoot next.
Choose Your Poison, 1. Christy B, 1. What's that? Scratch, 2.
Can we vote on Bigfoot next?
Yeah. But see, this is what makes this kind of a conversation interesting to me, because I could be wrong. Alex could be right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have a vested interest in being right or wrong. I just want to learn. And I like to hear other perspectives, because when you question somebody's fundamental belief system, if they don't understand why they believe what they believe, they are liable to respond in any number of ways. They may attack you. They may shut down. They may, who knows what. But when you're in a position like I am today, I have a vested interest in whether there is or there isn't. I don't really care. I mean, I care, but I'm not so vested in it that it's going to upset me emotionally. And the term that I use a lot is, protect your mind and control your emotions. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that.
Well, and
I agree with you on that.
That's what's great about this group. We can have a civil discourse about things, and nobody's getting their feelings hurt.
When it comes to the moon, I wasn't there.
Exactly.
I can't.
What'd she say?
I'm not repeating it.
Okay. Okay, Jen, you got to come on and tell us what you said because I couldn't hear it.
I don't know if you want to hear it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
As far as whether we went to the moon or not, I can't. I'm not going to put my name on that because I don't know. When it comes down to it, honestly, I don't know. Do I believe? Yes. When it comes to life outside of the human race, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And I suppose if we went and broke through the firmament 13 times, isn't that what you said? 13?
Well, the United States 13, but multiple. I mean, oh my God, here we go. Look at the Voyagers, okay? Look at the Voyagers and the radio signals that they're sending back. That is so far beyond a firmament, and the math that goes into the amount of time it takes for a signal to get to and for us to receive back the pictures, the understanding that there's more than just 9 moons, there's 21 moons on other planets. Like guys, the firmament thing, you're not going to get me to consent. It's just not going to happen.
But see, that's a whole nother issue is the firmament. I can't say yes or no. I don't know. I mean, as Captain said, I have not personally witnessed it. And the way they've obfuscated our history and our supposed facts, I don't know what to expect. It's possible.
When XRP goes to the moon, we're all going to book a flight with SpaceX or Bezos or Virgin Guy or whoever. We're all going to go experience the helium weightlessness together.
So
we can do that in that'll happen in our lifetime.
It's already happening.
yeah, it is.
Well, I'm talking about if I'm not writing a check that literally could buy the neighborhood I'm sitting in. If I didn't have to write a check like that, do you think that, one day somebody of my income would be able to just jump on a plane and say, go up and eat dinner in space?
Well, but see, that begs the whole nother question when we're talking about alternate energy sources, whether we're talking about Tesla energy, anti-orbitic technology, whether we're talking about something that really hasn't been released to the public yet. I would think that would
propulsion.
What's that?
I guess so.
Magnetic propulsion.
Right. Yeah. Anti-orbitic technology. It's the same thing. I mean, I don't know what to expect there, but hold on. Let's keep that thought. Let me do some house cleaning. So if you're on TikTok, double tap that screen, share this live out. If you're on X, YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble, give us the thumbs up. If you'd like to contribute to our tiny daily goal of 125, we're almost there. That would be great. And of course, we do have subscriptions available on TikTok. Now, I do have to tell everybody, Lisa Maria, one of our subscribers, just said, I love Jen. So it looks like Jen's going to have to come back at some point.
Look, this is what I'm going to do, Sam. I'm gonna forewarn you. I love this woman. I'm married to this woman. I put a ring on her finger. She is probably the better side of me. I'm gonna get down, and if you want to have her up,
no. I'm just playing with you. Captain. She's welcome anytime.
Well, I'm gonna get off anyway because I got honeydew stuff I gotta do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice to see you, Captain. Tell Jen we said goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, she's in here. She's already requested to come up.
Oh, she is? Where? I don't see her. All right, let me see if I can find her. Thanks for joining us, Captain.
Alex, I was gonna hit you up on this. It was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was sitting on my deck. I looked up in the sky, and there was this silver reflected, nice clear sky, and this thing was moving across the sky. And it didn't visually with my eye. It didn't take much other than a reflection. and it was a space station. 254 miles in the air, and I could make it out like a bird. Because I brought out my app, looked it up, and sure enough, it was flying over to the.
All right, everybody, buckle up.
Jen.
Buckle up, everybody.
Jen, we try to make this a little family friendly. So
I'm good.
Okay.
She got it out of her system.
All right, this is all I said. Everybody wants to know about the moon and all this stuff. I said you look at the moon every day when you wipe your ass. Okay.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, got it. All right, so we have B Golden just said a bunch of tiny dineys. Thank you, B Golden, and some roses. So again, I don't have a vested interest in whether there is or isn't life on other planets. I don't have a vested interest in whether we have or have not gone to the moon. I find it very interesting that there are arguments on both sides, and both sides have very legitimate points that they've made. So again, I think it's important that whether we agree or disagree with each other, that we do it in such a way that we can communicate openly and honestly with grace and respect and kindness and value each other's opinions. At least that's what I think.
we're $1 away from setting another all-time high at $3,053 an ounce.
Wow. Wow.
Not me trying to change the subject.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like Jen's about ready to breathe some fire there, so we better be careful.
So let's did we get through all the topics of the daily?
Oh,
dispatch?
yeah, that's right. I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys.
What? There's a daily dispatch?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and so we got a lot of new people in here on TikTok. If you're not following yet, please hit the follow button and you can be one of our subscribers and be part of our inner circle. And the Daily Dispatch is something that I produce 5-6 days a week. And then we do live 6 days a week as well with great minds like we have on the camera today. So how about Elon talking about the magic Monty computers? What is he, calling out the fiat system, the Federal Reserve
100%.
that's been printing money since 1913, taking our money, distributing it, and charging us interest for that privilege.
That we can never pay back.
Exactly. Nor should we.
We've had that conversation many times, but that's a big reason that crypto has been such the threat that it is because in a cryptocurrency world, there is no middleman. Nobody can sit down and go, there's a few $1 billion. There's a few $1 billion.
Right. Exactly. James, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, when you have 12 countries drop the U.S. dollar as of today, and I think we're slowly evolving into a digital currency, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure. And I wear the hat because that's where I believe it's going to go, and it's coming. We're waiting for the moonshot. Jen, what do you think about that?
This is what I want to say because there's a lot of people on here right now, 133 people that are uneducated. So about what you guys are talking about. So can you please just go further in with this and educate these people because there's people coming in and a lot of people don't understand what they're just chat. You know what I mean? And the best way is on your live right now because they're getting education right now because they have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so in a nutshell, in 1913, our Congress passed something called the Federal Reserve Act. And what they essentially did is they said, look, the United States government is not going to be in charge of our monetary system anymore. We're going to hand it off to a completely separate company called the Federal Reserve. That was the beginning of this central banking system. In 1970s, the central banking system, Richard Nixon specifically, completely took us and divested us from the gold and silver standard. What that did was our monetary system became what's called a fiat system, meaning that it's not backed by anything. That was bad enough. And then 6 months later, they instituted something called fractional banking. Fractional banking initially, prior to fractional banking, a bank had to have $1 in reserve to loan out $1. Fractional banking got instituted after we were taken off the gold and silver standard, and now banks could hold $1 and loan out $9. So now you fast forward to 2025, they are just creating money out of nothing. That's what inflation is. We have inflation is out of control because it's not, our dollar is not pegged to anything tangible in terms of gold, silver, and now with the advent of Bitcoin and other digital currencies, and I'm going to let Alex talk about that. Alex, give a little explanation on that.
Well, one to add just a little bit further to the fiat currency situation. A lot of people don't know that the Federal Reserve Bank is not part of the United States government. Yes, there is a board of directors, and no, they are not elected officials in control of our money. That would bring you to the fiat currency. The truth of the matter is, when you really sit down and look at it, the 9-to-1 ratio, that money is actually created every time you walk into a bank and you write your name on a promissory note. They then take that promissory note and they turn it into a bond and a security and trade it on the market and make 10 times the money. And then the money that you created, they're making you pay that money back to them. So how does that make sense? But if we look at the cryptography, blockchain, the ability for distributed ledger, it revolutionizes the entire world because there's no longer a middleman. If I want to send money to Sam because I'm purchasing a car from Sam, I can say, okay, Sam, here's half a Bitcoin. I'm paying $40,000 for your car. In that same transaction on the blockchain, I can receive the title to the car, and because it's on the blockchain, it's non-fungible. What that I'm gonna use an expletive. Non-fungible is non-fuckwithable. You can't edit it. You can't change it. Nobody can sit down and go, there's another $1 billion. There's another $1 billion. Here's $100 billion for you, Mr. Congressman, and here's $110 billion for you, Mr. China. And here, you can't do that anymore, right? Because of a distributed ledger. And the easiest way to break it down for those that don't understand, you walk into a bank in the old days, let's say in the 1800s, okay? You walked into the bank, you had a $5 silver certificate. You said, here, Mr. Banker, I want you to hold on to this and put it in my account. He would get out his ledger and he would write, Sam Shalhoub, $5 deposited. Sam comes back 5 days later and says, hey, I need $3. In that ledger, they give him $3. The balance of the book is he has $2 left. That's a piece of paper that banker could take his eraser. Sam, I don't know what happened to your other $2, right? In a cryptography scenario and blockchain, because the ledger is distributed across tens of thousands of computers, okay, you've heard about mining. What a mining machine is doing is it is settling that ledger, and it takes a number of miners to agree. Oh, yep, Sam has $2. Yep, Sam has $2. Yep, Sam has $2. That's now a confirmed transaction on the blockchain. Nobody can come back later with an eraser and go, nope, Sam doesn't have $2.
Can we make it 2 million, please?
No, sir, because it's on the blockchain. So as we move forward in the world, what does it look like when we're literally removing the middlemen from house transactions, car transactions? I want to buy a house. My contract goes on the blockchain. Here's the account. Here's how much I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay X amount per month. And the title immediately swings over to this part of the contract. And once all of payments are made, now the title moves to my wallet. I'm sole proprietor. I am the only person who has any leverage or say in the title of my own property. You erase government control, you erase the bureaucracy, you erase the theft of your wealth over time on dollars that you can't pay back. And if you want to know if you don't know how to get into it, and you want just the basics of how to get started, and that's how everybody did it to learn to ride a bicycle. You had to put your butt in the seat, put your feet on the pedals, and just get going. Go to Sam's website, book a call with Sam, and he will teach you how to set up an account and get yourself a little bit of Bitcoin. Look, you've got governments buying Bitcoin. You now have organizations, companies, corporations buying into Bitcoin.
We now have 80 public companies buying Bitcoin. 2 years ago, it was 33, not to mention
Right.
nation states.
And listen, yeah, you've seen lots of stories over the years. Oh, people use it to buy things they're not supposed to, blah, blah, blah. Then it got sued, and then it got regulated. And now we're in the adoption phase, right? It's being adopted by world governments. It's being adopted by multi-billion-dollar organizations. It's being adopted. And if you don't get on soon, you're going to miss the train, okay? And the truth about the whole situation is it's a digital revolution. It's a monetary revolution. We've seen in the last 4 years the largest transfer of wealth in human history. And this is a way for us to reclaim that. It stops the funneling of all the money up to the top 1%. Nothing against the 1%. They built companies and they create jobs, which puts money back into the economy, all of that. But there was someone the other day that was talking about back in the 70s, more than 50% of the GDP of this country was held by the middle class. That's now 5%. Like, that's a problem, right? So look at crypto. It's not a get rich quick. My personal strategy, not financial advice. Take what little bit you can each paycheck. If it's $5, put $5 into it and forget about it. Because if you were putting $5 in, okay, back in 2000, when it was just a couple dollars per coin, right? In 2013, this terrible thing called crypto Bitcoin hit $100 a share, which they said it would never happen. $100 a coin. That if you put $100 in 2013, that $100 10 years later is worth $86,000. That outperforms any stock market. And even if Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin lost half of its value tomorrow, your $100 is still worth $40,000.
Right. Exactly. So that is an overall view of the monetary system and what's taking place now. So thank you for suggesting that, Jen. It's appreciated. And I'm glad that we went deeper into that. So we're going to wrap it up today, you guys, with the last two things. Dan Bongino being sworn in and President Trump yesterday saying that the JFK files will be released today. So unredacted. So we're going to go into final thoughts here. Jen, why don't you lead off with final thoughts?
Oh, start with someone else.
Okay, James, how about you?
Well, I think the things that have been on our minds, a lot of people don't publicly speak about it, but with this division that we have in Democratic and Republican sides of the House, when you think about all the fighting, we're not really achieving anything with the government. And now we have a new president that's getting things done. It almost feels like we have inalienable rights. We're supposed to be able to enjoy life, liberty, and have a pursuit of happiness. And it just feels like that's being obstructed from the left. My enjoyment is basically what I create, and we all create. And I think if you can try to be happy, you can try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, I think we'll be in a much better place.
Very well stated. Dave?
It's going to be interesting with the JFK stuff today. I appreciate today's live. It was awesome. It was lively. Jen, thanks for coming. James, thanks for coming in the live last night. I appreciate all the gifts. Thank you, guys. I appreciate being here. We'll see what tomorrow brings or this afternoon.
Yeah, and if we do, by the way, if something significant happens, we're going to jump back on another live this afternoon and talk about the JFK files. Okay, Jen, final thoughts.
Well, number one, I just want to say thank you so much for having me up here. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me up here and listening to my big mouth. I'm going to try to keep it. But there are so many people out here on TikTok in the world. I'm a mom, stay-at-home mom right now. You know, we are so uneducated about what's going on in this country, and nobody wants to say. They just want to throw a hat on and a patriot shirt and be like, I'm a patriot. I know what I'm talking about. Honest to God, we don't know what we're talking about. And I am so thankful for this live because there's so much that people need to hear, make their own opinions about what they think, and do some research. But I mean, it starts here in this life. So I mean, you're learning a lot. You take that learning process and you take it wherever you want. You look around, hear things, this and that, and then you know. But I really do think that this is an amazing thing that you're doing, and just keep doing what you're doing, because there's a lot of people watching, and a lot of people are paying attention, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you for being here, Jen. And we want you to come back again too. Alex, final thoughts?
I'm going to elaborate a little bit on what James said. I think connection is the human condition, right? And we co-create together. And I believe that when a society has the ability to create, it has the ability to thrive. So what is missing, I think, in today's world on both sides of any political spectrum is the ability to come together and co-create. When we set aside emotions and feelings, and we ask hard questions, critical thinking, and we co-create together, that's how we move forward as a society. And Sam, I say it again, if you're not following Sam, he's on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, X, Facebook, you know.
Do you have his address?
There's only one Sam Shalhoub, so make sure you're following the right one. He's never gonna send you messages asking where are you from or join his QFS bullshit. But seriously though, you know, Sam, you've created a space. You put the work out for a daily dispatch for all of us to kind of take the headlines that like-minded individuals are interested in. You vet them, you make sure that it's legit, and you push it out to us every day. And it's so appreciated, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. So, Jen, James, Dave, Alex, what an incredible live today. I am just so grateful, not only for us on this screen, but for every single person that has been in this live. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we love to do, which is share our information in a way that is kind and patient. I mean, those are the things that I think that really count. We may disagree with details like the moon landing, but the fact is we're willing to do this in some ways. We're willing to listen to each other, and I think that is one of the keys to making this world, a better place to live. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Dave, Alex, James, Jen, thank you so much. And tell Captain we said thank you too, Jen. Alex?
One more little piece. If you want to see Sam dance in future lives, guys, we got to get to 50K likes on the live.
Exactly.
That's fun.
Exactly.
If Sam agreed yesterday that if he hits 250,000 followers on TikTok, he is going to go live and get an American flag tattoo. He does not have any tattoos, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, I've said I will do it.
We got to get Sam in the club. Let's go.
All right, good. All right, everybody, wonderful. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.